In the year 2347, the galaxy trembled under the iron grip of the Voxari Empire. Their reign of terror was marked by ruthless conquests, subjugation of entire species, and strip-mining planets to the brink of destruction. The Voxari had built their empire on the backs of enslaved billions, their advanced ships and cruel tactics rendering most resistance futile. But they made one fatal mistake. They crossed paths with humanity. The incident began when an Earth exploration vessel, the Defiant, rescued a lone survivor from a crippled Una ship. The Una engineer, Alter, revealed the true horror of the Voxari's centuries-long oppression and begged Captain Marcus Gordon for help. Alter gave Marcus critical intel on a secret vulnerability in the Voxari defenses, a chance to turn the tide against the blatant evil of the Voxari. Ignoring Earth's non-interference laws, Marcus and Alter ventured deep into enemy territory to gather proof of Voxari atrocities. What they found was stomach-churning. Secret labor camps where millions toil as slaves to feed the Voxari war machine, sites of torture, genocide, and unthinkable cruelty on a galactic scale, sparking the rebellion. Marcus and his crew liberated hundreds of Una captives in a brazen prison break, striking the Voxari a painful blow and sparking fierce debate back on Earth. Some called Marcus a dangerous rogue, while others hailed him a hero for standing against alien tyranny. When Emperor Zorks dispatched a massive fleet to crush the Defiant and her upstart human crew, Marcus knew the time for half measures had passed. Rallying his people and Una allies, Marcus embarked on a desperate mission to exploit the weakness Alter had uncovered and start a rebellion to burn the Voxari Empire down. With his ship crippled and the survival of entire species hanging in the balance, Marcus faced an impossible choice: flee to fight another day or risk it all on a final devastating strike. The Defiant limped into Earth's orbit, its hull scared and systems badly damaged from the daring rescue mission. Marcus and Alter wasted no time rushing to the United Earth Council chamber with their shocking evidence of Voxari atrocities. The images and recordings sent a chill through the gathered officials. "This cannot stand," Marcus declared, his voice raw with emotion. "The Voxari have enslaved and slaughtered billions. We have a moral obligation to act." The call to arms. Alter stepped forward, his alien features contorted with pain and anger. "My people suffer under the Voxari boot. You are our only hope." Many on the council balked at the prospect of war. "We have our own people to protect," argued Councilwoman Nadia Patel. Provoking the Voxari could bring their wrath down upon Earth. The debate grew heated, voices rising until a deafening alarm cut through the chamber. On the screen, a massive Voxari warship loomed over Earth, its weapons charged and ready. "People of Earth," boomed the menacing voice of Emperor Zorks, "you harbor criminals who have struck against the Voxari Empire. Surrender them or face annihilation." Panic erupted in the council chamber. Some called for immediate capitulation, others for defiance. Amidst the chaos, Marcus's voice rang out. "I have a plan," he said, his eyes blazing with tenacity. "I'll surrender myself to Zorks. Buy time for Earth to ready its defenses." He turned to Alter. "And time for you to return to Una space to light the spark of rebellion." The sacrifice. The council erupted in protest, calling it a suicide mission, but Marcus stood firm. "It's our only chance. If we can expose the Voxari weakness from within, we can bring them down." As the clock ticked down, the council reluctantly agreed. Marcus gathered his crew, his eyes misting as he faced Vikram, his trusted second-in-command. "The Defiant is yours now, old friend. Give him hell." In a tense exchange, Marcus boarded a shuttle and flew towards the waiting Voxari ship. He stood tall as Zorks's guards enclosed him, never breaking eye contact with the sneering Emperor. As the warship jumped to hyperspace, Zorks savored his triumph. "I'm going to make an example of you," he snarled. "The galaxy will watch you die." But Marcus just smiled coldly. As the ship entered Voxari space, he activated a hidden program, the Trojan horse he'd smuggled aboard. Alarms blared as the security systems failed, Marcus slipping free of his bonds and racing for the shuttle bay. Flaxens wailed as Zorks realized he'd been outplayed. Marcus blasted free in a stolen shuttle, broadcasting a message of defiance across Voxari frequencies. The time of reckoning has come. Rise up, all who yearn to be free. The Galactic Uprising. And rise they did. Across the Empire, long oppressed species took up arms, Muna rebels leading the charge. Zorks, apoplectic with rage, screamed for the rebels' head. Crush the Earthlings, grind their wretched planet to dust. Marcus raced towards the coordinates Alter had provided, where Una freedom fighters waited. Together, they would strike at the heart of Voxari power, paving the way for a galaxy-wide uprising. It was a desperate gamble, but as news spread of the daring human who had humiliated an emperor and called the oppressed to arms, a spark of hope ignited. The days of the Voxari's cruel rule were numbered, and Captain Marcus Gordon would lead the charge. Marcus's stolen shuttle limped into the hidden asteroid base, its hull still smoking from close calls with Voxari patrols. As the airlock cycled, he was greeted by a sea of alien faces, Muna rebels alongside other species he'd never seen before. Alter rushed forward, clasping Marcus's arm in a warrior's grip. "You made it," Alter said, his multifaceted eyes gleaming. And not a moment too soon. The final push. Marcus took in the cramped, bustling command center carved into the asteroid's core. Mismatched equipment hummed and blinked while beings of all shapes and sizes huddled over star charts and weapon schematics. "Quite the operation you've got here," Marcus said. Alter nodded grimly. "We've been busy, but uniting these factions hasn't been easy. That's where you come in." Over the next weeks, Marcus threw himself into molding this ragtag group into a fighting force. He drilled them in Earth military tactics, teaching them to work as cohesive units despite their differences. Move as one. He barked as a mixed squad of Una, and spindly Keela fumbled through a simulation. The Voxari won't care what species you are when the plasma starts flying. Alter focused on more covert skills, showing them how to sabotage Voxari systems and exploit weaknesses in their defenses. Progress was slow, but day by day, a real resistance took shape. Then the news came. Voxari ships swarmed Earth's orbit, raining death on defenseless cities. Marcus watched in horror as familiar skylines erupted in flames on the grainy view screens. "We have to do something," he growled, smacking his fist on a console. Alter laid a four-fingered hand on his shoulder. "And we will. But we must be smart. Strike where it hurts them most." Using Alter's inside knowledge, they planned a series of lightning raids on Voxari supply depots and communication relays. Marcus led from the front, his shuttle now filled with cobbled-together weapons as they hit target after target. After one particularly brutal firefight left a Voxari fuel depot in ruins, Marcus's comm crackled to life. It was Vikram, his voice tense. "Whatever you're doing out there, keep it up," Vikram said. "It's buying us time, but I don't know how much longer we can hold out." The reckoning. Marcus clenched his teeth, watching his ragtag fleet limp back to base. They were making a difference, but would it be enough? The answer came sooner than he'd hoped. Their next target was a heavily fortified command center coordinating Voxari forces across 3 sectors. The intel was good, but the Voxari were ready. Alarms blared as Marcus and his team fought their way through twisting corridors. They'd almost reached the main computer core when a squad of Voxari troops ambushed them. In the chaos, Alter was cut off and captured. Marcus wanted to go back, but there was no time. They had to complete the mission and get out. As they raced back to their ships, Marcus's mind raced. He couldn't leave Alter behind. 3 days later, Marcus led a small strike team back to the Voxari base where Alter was being held. But getting in wouldn't be easy. "Remember," Marcus told his squad as they prepared to breach the cell block, "we go in fast and quiet. One shot is all it takes to bring the whole base down on us." The rescue went sideways almost immediately. Alarms shrieked as they fought their way to Alter's cell. Marcus found his friend broken and bloody but alive. "Took you long enough," Alter croaked as Marcus cut his bonds. They almost made it out, but in the final firefight, Marcus caught a plasma bolt to the side. He stumbled, vision blurring as his team dragged him to safety. When he came to in the medbay, Alter was there. The Yuna looked haggard, but his eyes burned with renewed fire. "You shouldn't have come for me," Alter said. Marcus tried to sit up, wincing at the pain. "Like hell I shouldn't. We're in this together." Before Alter could respond, the door burst open. A breathless runner skidded to a halt. "Sirs," he panted, "you need to see this." On the main view screen, chaos unfolded. Voxari ships fired on each other, battle lines fragmenting as confusion reigned. "What's happening?" Marcus demanded. Alter's eyes widened. "The Empire is tearing itself apart." Marcus stood, ignoring the protest of his wounds. "Then this is our chance. We hit them now while they're divided." He turned to Alter, a fierce grin spreading across his face. "How'd you like to pay a visit to the Voxari homeworld?" As they planned the assault, adrenaline coursing through him, Marcus's comm chimed. His blood ran cold as he saw the sender, Vikram. He opened the message, and his world tilted on its axis. Earth was falling. The Defiant led a last desperate stand against overwhelming odds. Marcus stared at the message, the weight of two worlds pressing down on him. Strike at the heart of the enemy or rush to Earth's defense. With shaking hands, he made his choice. "All ships, this is Captain Gordon. Set course for Voxari Prime. We end this now." The rebel fleet surged through hyperspace, a ragtag armada of stolen Voxari cruisers and cobbled-together fighters. Marcus paced the bridge of his flagship, the stolen Voxari dreadnought he'd christened Liberty. Exiting hyperspace in 3, 2, 1, the navigator called out. The swirling vortex of FTL travel fell away, revealing the Voxari homeworld. For a heartbeat, Marcus allowed himself to hope they'd caught the enemy by surprise. Then space itself erupted in plasma fire. Evasive maneuvers. Marcus roared as the first volley slammed into Liberty's shields. "All ships, break formation and engage." The comm crackled to life. "Gordon, you fool," a deep, guttural voice growled. "I am Warlord Kerr, and you've flown right into my trap." Rebel ships scattered as a massive Voxari fleet decloaked around them. Marcus gripped the command console. "Alter, we need a way through their lines, now." Alter's eyes flicked rapidly over sensor readouts. "There. A weak point in their defensive grid. If we can punch through there, we can make for the shipyards." Marcus nodded grimly. "You heard him. All ships, focus fire on that sector. We're going for the throat." Liberty shuddered as it absorbed another barrage. Alarms blared as Voxari boarding craft latched onto the hull. "Damn it," Marcus snarled. "Security teams to all breached sectors. I'm heading down there myself." He sprinted through burning corridors, blaster in hand. The stench of ozone and burning flesh filled the air as his security teams engaged the Voxari borders. A massive, scaled form loomed ahead. Warlord Kerr himself. "I've been waiting for this, human," Tyr growled, unsheathing wickedly curved blades. Marcus barely dove clear as Kerr's first slash carved a molten gash in the bulkhead. The Voxari was fast for his size, but Marcus was faster. He rolled under another swing, coming up inside Kerr's reach to land a solid punch to the alien's midsection. Kerr bellowed in rage, backhanding Marcus into a wall. Stars exploded across the human's vision. He tasted blood. "Is that all you've got?" Marcus spat, forcing a grin. He feinted left, then drove his knee into Kerr's leg. As the Voxari stumbled, Marcus unleashed a flurry of strikes to vulnerable points Alter had shown him. Kerr roared in pain and fury, his attacks growing wilder. Marcus ducked under a haymaker, then drove his palm up into Kerr's throat. The Voxari's eyes bulged as he gasped for air. A final savage kick sent the warlord crashing to the deck. Panting, Marcus stood over his fallen foe. "It's over, Kerr. Call off your fleet." A harsh laugh bubbled from Kerr's throat. "Fool. Zorks has a weapon that will end this war. Your homeworld is about to burn, and your pathetic rebellion with it." Marcus's blood ran cold as alarms shrieked to life on screens throughout the ship. A monstrous vessel emerged from hyperspace, bristling with weapons and crowned by a massive cannon that crackled with unholy energy. "Gods," Marcus breathed. He keyed his comm. "Alter, tell me you're seeing this." "I am," the Una replied, his voice grim. "Marcus, that cannon has enough power to crack a planet in half. If Zorks fires it, millions die, and he consolidates power." Marcus finished. "We have to stop it." "How?" Alter demanded. "Our fleet is in tatters, and that thing's shields are impenetrable." Marcus's mind focused as he watched the doomsday weapon charge, not from the inside. "Prep a strike team. We're boarding that ship." Alter's protests fell on deaf ears as Marcus rallied his best fighters. They piled into a stealth shuttle, using the chaos of battle as cover to slip past the super dreadnought's defenses. They fought their way through corridors crawling with Zorks' elite guard. Marcus led from the front, his blaster spitting death as they clawed their way toward the bridge. They burst onto the command deck in a storm of plasma fire. Marcus's eyes locked onto the towering form of Emperor Zorks himself. "You're too late, human," Zorks sneered. "My cannon is charged. Your rebellion ends here." A dozen Praetorian guards swarmed Marcus, driving him back. His strike team was overwhelmed, falling one by one. Marcus fought like a demon, but he knew it wasn't enough. Then Alter was there, teleporting into the fray with a stolen Voxari phase shifter. Back to back, human and Una carved through Zorks' guards. "The cannon," Marcus yelled as klaxons wailed. "It's firing." With a desperate surge, they bull-rushed Zorks. The massive alien laughed as he backhanded Alter across the room. He seized Marcus by the throat, lifting him off his feet. "Watch as your revolution burns," Zorks gloated. But Marcus wasn't done. With the last of his strength, he triggered the grappling line on his belt. It shot out, wrapping around Zorks' legs. Marcus twisted, using the alien's own momentum to hurl him into the firing chamber of the planet-killer cannon. Zorks' scream was cut short as the weapon discharged. For a moment, the bridge was bathed in searing light. Then silence fell. Marcus staggered to the main console, shutting down the cannon. Around him, Voxari crew stood frozen in shock. "Zorks is dead," he broadcast across all frequencies. "The war is over."